Details make the difference between good and great. Xperia Z3 has the world's best camera and camcorder in a waterproof smartphone. Capture videos in 4K, even underwater. And see more in any light on the brightest and most vivid display. Stay on top of your world with the LifeLog app. Your smartphone, together with Smartwatch 3,
Okay, Google, cafe.
simplify your life. Experience more with high-resolution audio and immerse yourself in amazing detail with the ultimate sound quality. And for all the things that move you, the enhanced Steady Shot with Intelligent Active Mode makes sure your videos are beautifully blur-free. With PlayStation 4 Remote Play, you can now play your PS4 games on your Xperia Z3, anytime, anywhere in your home. And with built-in digital noise cancellation, you can lose yourself in the gaming experience. Get creative with the new Face In app. Add yourself to the picture and take selfies to another level. Capture your moments in highest quality, even in low light. Experience more with a battery that lasts for days. Don't settle for good, demand great. The new Xperia Z3 from Sony. Impossibly slim, breathtakingly light. The Xperia Z3 Tablet Compact is the world's most powerful waterproof tablet. As the slimmest and lightest compact tablet, it is a true companion. With built-in digital noise cancellation, you can lose yourself in entertainment wherever you are. See more even in bright sunlight with the brightest and sharpest 8-inch display. Working outdoors has never been so easy. Experience more with high-resolution audio and immerse yourself in amazing detail with the ultimate sound quality. Details make the difference. Never miss a moment with Sony's advanced camera technologies. With PlayStation 4 Remote Play, you can now play your PS4 games on your Xperia Z3 Tablet Compact, anytime, anywhere in your home. With leading battery performance and the fastest processor in a compact tablet, you will enjoy an extraordinary entertainment experience. Don't settle for good, demand great. The new Xperia Z3 Tablet Compact from Sony.
Salut, sunt Daniel de la goforit.ro și vreau să vă prezint în continuare smartphone-ul Sony Xperia Z. El a fost lansat în luna ianuarie, la CES 2013, și este unul dintre primele telefoane cu ecran Full HD de pe piață. Sony a făcut destul de multe eforturi pentru a impresiona utilizatorii. Xperia Z are un ecran cu diagonala de 5 inch protejat de un strat de sticlă rezistentă la zgârieturi. În plus, producătorul livrează smartphone-ul cu o folie preaplicată atât pe față cât și pe spate. Aici găsim același strat de sticlă rezistentă, telefonul având un aspect monolitic în această versiune cu carcasă neagră. Carcasa este disponibilă și în culorile mov sau alb. Așa cum puteți observa, carcasa se murdărește destul de ușor cu amprente. Ele s-ar putea să nu fie atât de ușor vizibile în cazul carcasei albe. Sony Xperia Z este un smartphone rezistent la apă și praf. El poate supraviețui la o adâncime de 1 metru timp de 30 de minute. Conectorii și sloturile sunt amplasați în spatele unor capace de plastic cu mici garnituri de cauciuc. Pe latura din stânga găsim slotul micro SD și conectorul micro USB. Acesta este un conector special pentru docking station-ul compatibil cu Xperia Z. În partea de sus găsim jack-ul audio, iar pe latura din dreapta avem slotul pentru micro SIM. SIM-ul este introdus în carcasa telefonului cu ajutorul unei tăvițe de plastic. Unul dintre elementele de referință la nivel de design este butonul de pornire al telefonului. Acesta este metalic și te ajută să orientezi terminalul în poziția corectă atunci când ai carcasa neagră. Sub el se află butonul pentru volum. Telefonul nu dispune de un buton fizic pentru camera foto. Aceasta are un senzor de 13 megapixeli de tip Exmor RS. El oferă rezultate similare cu cele ale altor smartphone-uri de top actuale în condiții de lumină bună. Din păcate, nivelul de zgomot crește destul de mult atunci când lumina este mai slabă, iar artefactele de procesare sunt vizibile când analizăm imaginile la rezoluție nativă. Camera foto este accesibilă din ecranul de deblocare și are o interfață ce afișează tot timpul declanșatorul și butonul pentru înregistrare video. Un LED poate fi folosit pe post de blitz și oferă o iluminare decentă la distanțe mici. Ecranul lui Sony Xperia Z are o densitate foarte mare de pixeli, mai precis 443 ppi și afișează imaginile foarte clar. Culorile nu sunt exagerate, iar contrastul și luminozitatea maximă sunt foarte bune. Din păcate, ecranul nu este de tip IPS ori AMOLED și nu are unghiuri de vizibilitate foarte bune. Culorile devin șterse și contrastul scade atunci când nu privim telefonul direct din față. Din punct de vedere hardware, Xperia Z este dotat cu un chipset Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 APQ8064. El include un procesor quad-core la 1,5 GHz și un GPU Adreno 320. Performanțele sale în testele sintetice sunt foarte bune, Xperia Z fiind unul din cele mai rapide telefoane la momentul lansării. Memoria RAM este de 2 GB, iar memoria internă este de 16 GB. Din acești 16 GB, aproximativ 12 GB sunt disponibili utilizatorului. Slotul microSD suportă carduri de până la 32 de GB. Sony Xperia Z rulează sistemul de operare Android 4.1.2 cu o interfață destul de minimalistă. În bara de notificări se află o serie de comutatoare pentru modulele interne, iar meniul de setări este unul clasic. Dimensiunile lui Sony Xperia Z sunt decente dacă îl comparăm, spre exemplu, cu Galaxy Note 2 sau cu alte modele cu diagonala de 5 până la 6 inch. Asta nu înseamnă că el este ușor de folosit cu o singură mână. În funcție de cât de lungi aveți degetele, veți putea să acoperiți mai mult sau mai puțin din ecran cu degetul mare. Pentru o comparație, avem aici un Sony Xperia T cu ecran de 4,5 inch și un iPhone 5 cu ecran de 4 inch. Xperia Z are o grosime de doar 8 mm, dar va trebui de multe ori să vă bazați pe aderența sticlei de pe spate atunci când îl susțineți cu o singură mână. Telefonul va fi disponibil pe piața din România în primăvara lui 2013. În Europa, prețul de lansare la liber este de aproximativ 650 de euro. Mai multe detalii despre Sony Xperia Z puteți citi în review-ul de pe www.goforit.ro.
This episode of Android Weekly is brought to you by Domain.com. So now you've seen the Samsung Galaxy S6 and the S6 Edge and probably the HTC One M9, but there's a whole lot more going on at the Mobile World Congress. So let's start off with Sony Xperia Z4 tablet, which looks like a lot of raw power in a crazy thin device. In terms of design, the Xperia Z4 tablet looks a lot like its smaller sibling, the Xperia Z3 tablet compact. The same design language features rounded edges and is used to great success on the 10.1 model. And amazingly, Sony managed to make the tablet Z4 even slimmer at 6.1 millimeters compared to the 6.4 millimeters on the previous generation. The device weighs just 389 grams, which is pretty impressive for this class, and yes, the device is still water resistant. The thinner body doesn't bring a decrease in battery capacity, however. The Z4 tablet features a 6,000 mAh unit, the same as on the Z2. Now the screen is Quad HD, which is a welcome change, but that may take a slight hit in battery life unless Sony has found a way to mitigate the issue. The Xperia Z4 tablet is the first slate to feature a Qualcomm Snapdragon 810 processor, featuring 4 fast cores and 4 power-saving cores arranged in a big dot little configuration, as well as an Adreno 430 GPU. There's 3 GB RAM, 16 GB or 32 GB of storage, and micro SD support. The main camera has been switched to an 8 megapixel sensor, down from a 13 megapixel in the previous generation. Now, Google has also confirmed at the Mobile World Congress that there will be an Android Pay API. Google intends for Android Pay to become the standard for mobile payments, with the API allowing for other parties to take Android Pay and integrate it into their own services and apps. Essentially, Android Pay will be the backbone behind transactions and software, meaning that it can continue to work with Google Wallet too. As you may expect, Android Pay makes use of your phone's NFC connection to transfer payments and will eventually support biometric security measures to act as a confirmation as well. Speaking about security though, Android Pay also implements tokenized card numbers to prevent stolen data from causing a problem. And card data is stored locally on your device, meaning that you can use it without a network connection and there's little risk of someone intercepting vital data over the air. Now, although Google didn't give us an exact date on when Android Pay will roll out, we do expect to hear more news in and around Google I/O. Now, what could quite possibly be the biggest news at the Mobile World Congress is that Google announced that they're entering the carrier market. Sort of. Do you hear that? I hear angels singing. We've heard rumors about how Google might get into the wireless game for years now, but last month these whispers started to gain more momentum as several big publications claimed that Google was launching its own carrier service. Now at Mobile World Congress 2015, Sundar Pichai has confirmed that Google is gearing up to launch its own MVNO, which stands for Mobile Virtual Network Operator, in the coming months. During an onstage interview, Pichai was asked about the rumors regarding a Google MVNO and decided to shed a little light. While he didn't get into specifics, Pichai said Google has no plans to be a carrier at scale and we're working with existing partners. He further iterated that they had talked to carriers like Verizon and AT&T and are working to ensure that Google's efforts don't get in the way of existing relationships with big carriers. Pichai says the goal is to merge Wi-Fi and cellular service in interesting new ways, and isn't necessarily about changing wireless pricing structures, although that could still be at play. Google wants to do new things in this space, like eliminate some of the frustration caused by dropped calls, like creating a way to automatically reconnect calls when one or both lines are dropped unexpectedly. And in an unexpected partnership, Samsung and IKEA have joined up to help you charge your devices on your couch. Literally. Korea's largest OEM and Sweden's most famous furniture store are bringing a brand new partnership to your living room and bedroom, and just about any room in your house or office. Starting next month, IKEA will begin selling furniture with wireless charging capabilities in Europe and North America, with a global rollout thereafter. This coincides nicely with the April 10th release of the Galaxy S6 and the S6 Edge. The possibilities are endless, really. Imagine a table or one or more corners containing a hotspot to place your phone for power regeneration. Consider a sofa with wireless charging module built into the arm. Sounds pretty cool. I don't seem to ever get bored of playing with domain extensions. My new favorite, Jace in the club. Because it's not just about .com, .net, or .org anymore. You now have the opportunity to name your site and build your brand in ways never before possible. Choose from a growing list of 200 plus domain name extensions like .ninja, .nyc, .expert, .club, or .guru, all available at domain.com. And the guys at domain.com have hooked our viewers up with a great offer. You can save 15% off a domain name and web hosting when you use our coupon code Android at domain.com checkout. Don't forget 15% off when you use our coupon code Android. When you think domain names, think domain.com. Thanks for watching, Android Army. My name is Jace. Love to connect with you right here on Google Plus or Twitter. You don't want to forget about my brothers in Android, Joss, Joe, and the Technician, Kevin, Lonnie, Chris, Gary, Nash, and Taylor, all working super hard to deliver the very best content on the web. I shall see you next week on Android Weekly.
Looks like very soon it's coming the Xperia Z4. Though the Xperia Z3 was just revealed at
IFA 2014, Sony's speedy release schedule means its next flagship device should be hitting us early in 2015. With this in mind, we're taking a look at its specification. Let me number you some very cool future specification for the Z4. The biggest change is going to be the processor, of course. It's going to come with the A10 chipset, which is the leader of the future. It is going to come with a superior camera. It will take better photos and very new features camera, like UV focus and chroma flash and HDR video. It will come with a better video. It will come with Ultra HD capture and playback at low power. It will come with new ways to interact, voice activation, ultrasound pen and gestures. It will come with a better GPS. It will low very cost and low power while integrating and supporting global constellations. It will come with a faster Wi-Fi speeds, 2-stream 802.11 AC. It will come with a superior voice quality with HD voice, fluence noise cancellation. It will come with a higher performance optimized ARM Adreno 430. It will come with a longer battery life, 20 nanometer process, more advanced power management and very advanced packaging. Sony has previously stated that it doesn't believe in QHD technology. The trade-off of battery power for the benefit of a few extra pixels does not make sense for many manufacturers, and unless battery or QHD technology changes significantly in the next 6 months, we are unlikely to see it on the new device. Having said that, reports are circulating that Sony has experimented with QHD displays on a number of prototypes models. Maybe one of these might become the Z4? Well, let's figure out. Qualcomm Snapdragon 810 processor should be available by the time that Xperia Z4 rolls around, and it will boost a number of significant benefits to smartphone user. The 64-bit architecture, which supports more than 4 GB of RAM, means that the 810 will likely make an appearance on a number of flagship smartphones, and we hope to see it on the Z4 also. Sony Xperia Z4 features. It's safe to assume that Android L will be running on any device released next year, so you can bet the Z4 will come with Android Key Lime Lemon Lollipop Meringue Pie as standard, along with all the benefits it brings. That's basically what we think we know about the Xperia Z4. Now, Sony Xperia Z4 release date. The original Sony Xperia Z was released in February of 2013, with the Xperia S2 following a year later in March 2014. Since then, Sony has said it plans to forego the yearly release cycle that most manufacturers have set for their flagship handsets, and instead release them on a biannual basis, which is why the Xperia Z3 announced at IFA will be landing sometimes in the autumn. What all this means for the Xperia Z4 is that it may materialize around April next year.
May 4th. Yay! And yeah, so this is a 10.1-inch TFT display with 1200 by 1920 resolution. That's about 224 pixels per inch. Sony is kind of known by, to a large degree, at least in the TV set world, for their great displays.
Absolutely.
And this kind of follows into that. The display is powered by their triluminous display for mobile, which they've been doing triluminous displays in TVs for quite a while. I'm not sure I completely understand exactly the science behind it.
Do you see any kind of difference with the
Well, I see a vibrance. There's definitely a certain
okay.
vibrance to the screen. Things are really punchy. It's kind of similar to what you might see in Super AMOLED displays, where when you take a look at a Super AMOLED display, things just kind of seem to pop out a little bit more. And you definitely get that through this display. They also have an X reality setting for the screen. They put a lot of time and focus, obviously,
obviously into the screen, and that's kind of you know, one of the big selling points here, and they
So what
totally
about the other
deliver
parts?
on that. You know, just the viewing angles are fantastic. You can go off axis on this, and it's pretty great. Outside viewing, like in bright sunlight, like especially today because we're super sunny outside, it can get, it's pretty good if you ramp it all the way up, but of course that comes at the cost of battery, so keep that in mind. But yeah, I mean, the screen's fantastic. My only complaint really is, and I don't know if this is the screen technology or what it is, but touch responsiveness. There were a lot of times where if I tap it, what I'm used to tapping on my phone, or you know, the pressure that I tap on my tablets at home, sometimes it just wouldn't register the tap. And I'm not sure if it's me or if it's the tablet, but it happened regularly throughout the course of the week. Haven't seen any other reviewers really point that out. So you know, it could be just me. And of course, now that I'm trying to replicate it, I can't. So
of course, it
maybe it's not a big
deal.
The big selling point here, I reviewed the Z1 tablet last year, and again, it's very similar in the sense that it's super thin and light. I mean, this thing is ridiculously thin and light. 6.4 millimeters thick. That's 0.5 millimeters thinner than the Z1. And the Z1 was pretty darn thin as well. Here you go.
Wow. I was expecting it to be heavier, but it's just
it's almost like a stack of paper.
Throw it like a frisbee.
You know? It's almost like you're carrying around a tiny little, you know, stack of paper.
It weighs less than my couponing binder.
There you go. See, and that's pretty light.
Yeah, it's very light.
But yeah, so obviously it has that going for it. It's IP58, IP58, which is dust and water resistant. So as a result, you have to kind of be okay with the fact that some of these ports are, you know, closed.
They're covered.
They're covered. Which isn't my favorite thing in the world. Having said that,
I don't mind it, but I have nails.
Right, okay, so nails definitely help, and they have a little bit of a notch in there so you can get under it. You know, it kind of sucks when you want to plug something in really quick and you can't because the port cover's on it. But that's your trade-off, right? That's what makes it water resistant. We'll dunk it here in a second when I'm done talking about it. But so I like the design. They moved the speakers to the front. Oh, actually, I have it upside down here. They moved the speakers down here to the front, these tiny little notches. On the previous model, you'd cover the speaker with your palm. Now it kind of faces forward, which is a little bit better. Good. Let's see here. IR blaster on the top, so you can work it. I mean, you can pretty much work this with almost anything that has a remote. It can learn if it isn't stored in their own database, and I'm telling you, there's a ton. Like, you know, just pulling up our Samsung TVs has like 75 different like remote configurations stored in there. So finding the right one was difficult. Right. But even if you couldn't, you could learn your own, and it makes a good kind of living room companion for that regard. Performance was fantastic. This is a quad-core 2.3 gigahertz Snapdragon 801. Ooh. So it's a great processor there. 16 gigs of internal storage on this device. You can also get 32 gigs.
Not bad.
32 gig is $600. 16 gig is $500 basically.
Okay.
So, and then you do have your micro SD card if you want to go up to 64 additional gigs. I think where it kind of falls apart for me a little bit is the camera, and I don't hold it too much against it because tablets and cameras.
When has a tablet ever had a good camera?
Yeah, you kind of get used to that. We're beaten down at this point.
Pretty much.
From tablet cameras. But if you want to show just a couple of the samples there, Brian, it's an 8.1 megapixel rear-facing camera and 2.2 megapixel front-facing camera. So I got some good pictures in good light. That was low light, and I thought that was reasonable. It was okay considering. But you just see most of the pictures that I took.
That's in the studio, so it's
That's
nice
in
and
the
bright.
studio. Very nice lighting. Very like washed out. This was outside. Not very
It almost
good.
looks like somebody had smudged the
Yeah, and
camera
I checked. I made sure. It has some software features like background blurring. Here you can see it didn't take so well. On the next one, it actually worked pretty well. I had to be super close to that object with the tablet in order to do it. It was almost more trouble than it was worth. You know, other things like mirror effect, which as you can see, it didn't focus very well. Panorama, this didn't actually turn out on the TriCaster. That's okay, it's scaling it. And yeah, there you go. Front-facing camera. You've got that nice front-facing blur, but it's probably good for, you know, your calls, I guess.
So what about the battery? You said that
battery's great, actually. I had to, yes, it performed very well for me. Excellent standby, actually, as well. They do include stamina mode. You know, they have some of their software features. Stamina mode, which disables Wi-Fi and mobile when the screen is off. And then you actually have a list that you can manage with exceptions to that.
Okay.
So you can kind of say, no, these apps are still updating in the background. That's cool. Also has a low battery mode that allows you to customize the ways that the tablet saves battery when it's below 20%.
Nice video you got there, by the way.
There we go.
Nice video you got there.
Now,
what software are we using? It's Android?
It is. It's
Obviously.
it's 4.4.2 KitKat. It's skinned, but you know, I'd say more than anything, it's lightly skinned. It's, you know, if you are true to KitKat, you know, Google's version of KitKat, you're going to see a little bit of the difference. But for the most part, I felt like it didn't get in the way. You know what I mean?
That touch here thing up at the top is driving me nuts. I don't know about you, but
oh, for some reason I blocked it out. Anyone I've showed it to, though, that's the first thing they did is touch that, and of course, yeah, it takes you through to Sony's built-in stuff.
I kind of want to see you.
So you want to see it in the dunk tank?
I do, yeah.
We might as well. We don't get a chance to drown our technology.
It's really fun to put things in water.
So here we go. 3, 2, 1, and
yay!
oh. And it's in there, it's still, oh no, it's flickering. No, it's not, it's fine.
So it still works.
Yeah, it's still, I hope it still works.
And then it dies.
And there we go. I do know, you know, it's touch resistant, not, water resistant, not waterproof. Yeah. So it's probably not gonna work that well when there's water on the screen. It's gonna register as touches, but there you go.
But you can accidentally drop it in your gigantic toilet and
you can take it to the beach. You can take a bath with it if that's your thing.
You'll be okay.
You'll be okay.
What are your pros and cons?
Pros, obviously the display is fantastic. It's thin and light. That's kind of its thing. Performs alongside the best tablets. I mean, the performance was fantastic. Gaming and all that, very good. And then of course, resistant to water and dust, as I just showed off. Cons, I would say I have to mention touch sensitivity because for me it kept popping up, but it might not be a deal breaker, and it might just be this device, to be honest. And then camera, there's no denying that the camera is not that great for a tablet, but all in all, I'd say unless the camera on a tablet is really important to you, I'd say it's a buy.
You can find out more about this fantastic offer by clicking the link in the description.